a horrific showing from Ten Hag's Manchester United.
He's down to 8 Hag now.
Yeah, definitely. So we've conceded some 6 goals, I believe, and we haven't even scored one. It was scored by McAllister.
Brighton.
So yeah, so we are sitting in 20th after this 4-0 defeat to Brighton. This is our worst start of the Premier League in decades, and I think it's the worst. It's like the lowest points, like sitting 20th. That hasn't happened since like 1936 or something. But
good lord!
But what I was talking about earlier, I was right. It is that the last time that Manchester United lost their opening 2 games, they won the Premier League. And this was in the 1992-93 season. So it was
very first Premier League season.
Yes. So I was mistaken I was mistaken about Alex Ferguson starting then. It was the first season of the Premier League. Alex Ferguson was in charge, and that was his first win. Alex Ferguson's first win at United. So it was United's first title since 1967.
Yes. Yeah, okay. That makes a whole lot more sense.
Yes. So yeah, that's it. Last time we won the league, but we'll see. I doubt it.
Which means it'll definitely happen this season.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So anyway, what a thoroughly embarrassing match. Most of it being landing on David De Gea's plate, because first goal was just him totally flubbing it, and it just went through his hands like water through a spaghetti strainer. And so it was just terrible save, horrific goalkeeping. And then second one, again, another De Gea error. We are trying to learn how to play it out of the back, and he
wasn't the only one at fault for that one, though.
I'd say
certainly not.
I'd say it was a poor decision.
Look, the pass to, was it Eriksen?
It's Eriksen, yeah.
The pass to Eriksen needs to be harder, but when you're playing the ball out from the back, you don't, especially against a team that were pressing. Brentford were pressing quite high.
Oh yeah,
because I suppose United kind of allowed them to, but you've got to move the ball quickly. Eriksen he jogged towards the ball and then took a touch, and took a shit touch. If he played that ball first time to the right back, this would not have happened.
Yes, I agree with that. He turns the wrong way. He should pass it first time. Taking a touch was a bad move, but also it probably shouldn't even be him that deep. Like I don't know where
receives the ball.
I don't know where the hell Fred is. Like he's supposed to be playing 6 in that game, and it probably wouldn't be better to pass that one out wide. But that's the thing, is that we have to realize that the team is learning to play it out the back. And I don't know if you remember when Manchester City were trying to learn how to play it out the back, and they had Claudio Bravo in goal, who essentially did exactly the same thing that happened in this match multiple times.
He would muff it up, yeah.
So it does take a while to learn a new thing like this, playing it out the back, and that was Brighton were putting a tremendous amount of pressure on De Gea, who has never been that kind of goalkeeper. So look, it's growing pains. For this one, I'm pretty sure it's still obviously not a good mistake to make, but I do see that as growing pains. And then third goal, almost kind of the same. We had to start a pair of Maguire and Martinez, because we had Lindelof is injured and Varane is coming back from injury, so he wasn't quite ready. And so Martinez had only played, I think he only played 1 match and half of a preseason game or something. So and it was never supposed to be. He was never supposed to be straight into the first team. I don't think that's quite right. So a lot of pressure is on him to adapt to the Premier League quickly, coming from Eredivisie is quite quite a big difference. And yeah, he just sort of
Yeah.
gets isolated and for that third goal, and Ben Mee can just kind of walk in a header.
Oh yeah, that was. It was just so poor. Like again,
Mm.
the. I know it's. That's kind of where you're meant to put you like a defender. You put a defender on the post. That's fine.
Mm.
But if a big strong guy like Ben Mee, who's an aerial presence for sure, goes and stands next to him, swap him out. Put put
Yeah, yeah.
someone else on him.
Well, that's what a
Put
lot of people
someone
were saying.
strong.
Yeah.
Put someone strong next to Ben Mee.
Well, that's it. The thing is, last season it would have been Maguire playing left centre back in that position, but they changed Maguire to the right side. And
Well,
but then also, yeah, you're right. They should switch, but then that's the thing is like it's a I was reading some article about this, and they sort of say that like when you're as a centre back having to switch is usually a bad sign that your defensive partner is not ideal. And
well, maybe that's true, but it's
yeah, I know. Well, we didn't have Scott McTominay on the pitch too, because the only thing that keeps Scott McTominay on the pitch is his height and his homegrown status. So we were, I mean, look, Brentford are a very tall team. They actually have very tall and very fast players.
strong.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Martinez kind of just gets his footing a bit wrong and doesn't quite react properly, so he gets beaten. But I mean, Ben Mee's not even 6 foot. Ben Mee is 5'10", 5'11".
Is he?
Yeah, I know. I was surprised. I always thought Ben Mee was like huge, but he's not. I think he's 5'11". He's 180 centimeters. So
Yeah, 5'11".
yeah, so he's not even huge, but compared to Martinez, he looks huge. He is definitely strong. So yeah, but again, that was just sort of poor planning, and all of this happened within like 30 minutes, which is even worse. And after this third goal, the team just sort of gave up. Like, they're just like, here we go again.
Dropped a bollock.
Yeah. And then the fourth one was just like a perfect counter attack from Brentford, I gotta say.
And it was the fourth one.
Yeah, I know. Fourth goal in 35 minutes is just embarrassing from Brentford. Like, if it was Liverpool, people would be like, oh, yeah, sure. Or Man City, they'd be like, yeah, okay, cool. But it's Brentford, man. Like, what the fuck? I predicted this team to be fighting for relegation. Like, and but then so we just get done on the counter attack big time because everyone presses so high up because that's what their instructions are, obviously. Especially Maguire, which is insane because like if you're Maguire and you know how fucking slow you are, like maybe you in particular don't push that high. Like,
yeah,
Harry Maguire has horrific reading of the game and like anticipation. So like if
kind of.
his pace wouldn't matter so much if he was able to react quicker, but he can't because the problem is that they went full counter attack. Both of their strikers are extremely fast, and Martinez was covering his man, but then Maguire didn't. Maguire was still like running back 30 seconds later, after the goal was scored. And like, so then Luke Shaw, who is, playing an overlapping forward, who is basically on the byline, sprints the entire length of the pitch trying to catch Mbueno, I think his name is, who is actually faster than Luke Shaw anyway. So, because everyone was trying to blame Luke Shaw for this. I'm like, look, bro, he ran the length of the pitch trying to pick up for Harry Maguire, who barely came back at all.
Maybe I'm being mean, but do you think Luke Shaw looks unfit again?
Oh, I just think the fragile mentality, and Luke Shaw is a player really affected by that.
Fine, I'll be more blunt. Does he look fat?
I don't know. I don't necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. I did actually read somewhere that they want to put him on a diet or something like it.
Yeah, I'm sure that basically since his goal in the Euros final, he hasn't looked, great.
Yeah, he lost his place to Alex Tellers last season, and that's that's saying a lot.
It was saying something.
Yeah, so yeah, he's not in his prime, that's for sure. We're still not ready, and we're still adapting to this new style. It's going to take time. Of course, it was always going to take time. It was delusional to think that it would
Oh,
be
of course.
instantaneous. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. Nobody could possibly believe that. I think just the nature of the defeat and the opponent who have you've been defeated by is the major problem that people are
In that
sort of
position.
having.
Mm. Yeah. Insanely.
That's my interpretation.
Yeah. So very demoralizing. But yeah, gotta move on from this. So, but again, like all of those goals were sort of from individual mistakes or growing pains from the new tactics. So, it, yeah, it doesn't exactly the scoreline doesn't exactly reflect the entire match, because after the second half, we did 3 subs, and the second half we didn't concede anymore, but we also didn't score any. So it was sort of a poor showing all around, I would say. Not a good match. I just think after 4-0, everyone gave up. Everyone was just sort of like,
yeah. It did reek of a team that just sort of doesn't have like there's no team culture. It's sort of like
yeah. Well, it's confidence. Like confidence was already
yeah.
so low, and this just sort of added to it.
That's right. Well, confidence is a culture in and of itself. Like City and Liverpool both have a confidence culture. When they're losing and you're seeing them play, you're seeing them sort of fight back, even if it's the 92nd minute, both those teams, you think they're going to score. They might not win the game. Maybe they'll bring it back to a draw. Whatever. But they are not going to let their heads drop. They will.
Yeah.
They will play until the 95th minute. And
you're right. When they've shown in plenty of matches, Liverpool and Manchester City in particular, that they don't give up. They win even if they go down a lot. They fight.
They will not be beaten.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, that's exactly the kind of culture that needs to be developed, and that has been strained over the years.